If your marketing only happens when you're thinking about it, when you sit down to write a post or send an email or plan a launch, and then it kind of stalls out again in between, it's not that you're doing anything wrong, but there is something missing. In this episode, I want to talk about why your marketing feels like a bunch of one offs and what actually changes that. Welcome to BeWeird Marketing, marketing conversations for women who want less noise and better decisions. I'm Ashley Conway. I partner with established entrepreneurs who are done chasing trends and tired of carrying their marketing alone. This isn't a how-to show. It's a thinking space, a place to slow down, cut through the noise, and focus on what actually supports your business at this stage. Because honestly, marketing doesn't need more ideas. It needs better decisions. I was thinking about this the other day while I was meal planning. When I sit down to do meal planning for the week, I don't just pick random foods that sound good. I think about the meal as a whole, right? So, like, what's my main entree, my meat, my casserole, whatever? What are one or two sides to go with it? Like, I need a vegetable. Do I need a starch? Or if I do a couple vegetables, do we want bread with this or not? Because that's how I learned to plan meals. I remember watching my mom growing up. She had a package of loose leaf paper, and she would sit down once a week and just write on there the days of the week down and what we were going to have for dinner. Even if, some nights it was leftovers, she would write that down. Or if we were going to eat out for something, she would write that down. And so she planned all the dinners for the week the exact same way I do: the main entree, the sides, anything to go with it. And then below that, that's how she would make her grocery list. And she would take that sheet of paper with her to the grocery store, and that's what she would shop off of. And I had just grown up like it, so this seemed like the most normal thing to me, like something everyone did. So that's something I continued when I was maybe not in college because I had a meal plan, but when I went out and moved on my own, I did the exact same thing. I don't have the skill set to go to my pantry and just look at a couple of ingredients and say, I think I'll make this. No, I'm a hardcore meal planner. That's the way I learned it. But if I planned meals the way a lot of people plan their marketing, it would sound more like this. Okay, I'm in the mood for spaghetti. I am. But mashed potatoes sounds good too, because who doesn't love mashed potatoes? I probably need a vegetable. So let's do Asian coleslaw. I haven't made that in a while. And biscuits. Biscuits sound amazing. And I think we have some of those in the freezer. So let's add those too. And none of those things are bad on their own, but when you put them all on the same plate, it's going to be weird. It just doesn't work. And I see a lot of marketing being done the same way. It's not that business owners are doing anything wrong. It's just that it's not designed to work together. It's not designed to be on the same plate. And when your marketing is a collection of one-offs, it never builds the momentum that it needs to really grow your business to the next level that you're trying to take it. So let's talk about what one-off marketing looks like. It's posting when you think about it, or sending emails inconsistently, or even if you're consistent, like you just sit down and decide what you're going to write when it's time to create the email. Or it's launching reactively. And what I mean by that is, I know I want to offer this new service starting next month. So, oh, shoot, I wonder if I should be talking about it now. I should put together a social post. That's being reactive. It's also creating content without a clear purpose or a clear larger goal. Like you're just thinking, what service would I like to talk about this week in this email? Let me jot something down. It's very spur of the moment. You're always starting from scratch, and everything exists, and you are communicating, you are marketing, you are promoting, but it's that nothing connects. And this is why that feels so hard. It makes marketing harder than what it has to be. When everything is a one-off, you have to rethink marketing every single time. You're always setting down to a blank slate with blank ideas. Let's say you're having to come up with new ideas every single time. You're having to ask yourself, what should I post about? What should I say? How should I say this? What am I promoting right now? When should I send this? Should I send it this week, next week? What day? What time? There's always a lot of questions, and you have to make more and more decisions every time you need to promote something. And that's why marketing starts to feel so mentally heavy because it's always from scratch. What's missing isn't effort. You certainly don't need to put more effort in. What's missing is structure. There's a layer of structure that most business owners were never taught. And it's not even that you're not marketers, it's that, and I didn't know this when I first started out, you have the marketing skills, you've been doing your own marketing. The structure, learning how to structure businesses, marketing just comes from experience. It comes from working with many companies of different sizes and different types. And then you learn that there needs to be a structure underneath everything because it will connect all the things that you're already doing. And it makes them more powerful, more impactful, and more effective, better at bringing in business when everything's connected. It works together and they reinforce each other. So let's talk about what changes when you have a marketing structure in place. So instead of these random posts or disconnected emails or scattered promotions or doing things reactively, it's kind of the oh crap feeling of I've got to get this out. I should have gotten this out a week ago or yesterday or whatever it may be. That's why marketing isn't fun, right? When you have structure, this is the difference. You have clear promotion windows. So you know, for the week ahead, I'm going to be promoting this particular service of mine. And that's what you talk about across the board. So your social posts are talking about that. Your emails are talking about that. Everything you're doing is talking about that one thing. If you're podcasting, you're talking about that one thing. The second thing is that your content is going to support your offers. You don't just sit down anymore and create a reel or create an email and just wonder, what am I going to talk about? It's going to have an ultimate goal. So you're going to back up from there. If the goal is to promote this particular offer, you're going to create the content to support that offer. If it's something for early stage people, who need to know the fundamentals of kind of what you do, then I'm going to create a content about when you're starting out, when you're thinking of doing this, whatever it is. I'm going to create content to support that final thing I'm promoting. They just flow together so much better. You're also going to have messaging that builds over time, like you're grabbing people's attention, and then you're going to continue following up in your messaging to build the need and build the desire for that solution and that transformation. Because again, everything's connected and it's working together. And ultimately, the biggest thing is you're now creating pathways that your audience is going down. I like to refer to it. One of the very first episodes of this podcast was about the marketing roadmap and how you're taking your potential customers, your audience, down this road, and they're stopping at different houses. And the first one is just learning about you. And the second is building a relationship with you. And the third one is actually becoming a client of yours. And everything, once you have a marketing structure, is working together to build those pathways. So your audience naturally goes from one spot to the next without you having to work so hard to convince them, remind them, stay top of mind. It's a natural progression. Your marketing at that point starts to feel like it's working together. It's kind of its, own machine where each little part does its job, and then you're creating something beautiful at the end. It's like an assembly line where each person is doing their job, and at the end you have this gorgeous car. That's what your marketing starts to do. It's all in sync. It knows its role, and it just starts doing its piece. And at the end, maybe instead of a beautiful car, although that would be nice too, is you have these beautiful client relationships. It's not a series of reactive one-offs anymore, and there's not as much pressure and there's not as much weight of feeling behind and uncertain. Marketing isn't supposed to rely on constant creativity. In fact, let's take some of that and use your creativity on coming up with new offers or new ways to wow your clients or whatever that may be. You don't have to spend as much of it on marketing. It isn't supposed to rely on constant creativity. It's supposed to run on a structure, on a skeleton. So remember, let's go back to my meal planning analogy. When I plan a meal, I'm not just choosing foods. I'm creating something that works together because, okay, small confession here. I do eat my foods like one at a time. I start with whatever's on my plate that I like the least, and then I finish with whatever's on my plate that I like the most. But normal people, non-psycho people don't do that. They eat their foods together, a bite of this, a bite of this, a bite of this. And that's how the professional chefs design things to work together, that when you meld and mesh all of these different flavors and textures together, that it like sets off fireworks in your mouth and in your heart, and it's an experience. That's the way a meal is supposed to work. They never just choose random things that they would like to make. Your marketing is the same. If you want the fireworks and the experience that just wows somebody, it has to work together. It's not about doing more. It's about making what you're already doing actually connect and work together. So if your marketing has felt like this, like it's a bunch of one-offs and you're starting from scratch almost every single time you sit down, it's because you're missing that layer of structure that will hold everything together. If you don't currently have someone helping you build that for your business, you absolutely can. You can learn more about working together at BeWeirdMarketing.com. And I can't wait to have that conversation with you. One of the very favorite things I get to do is to hear all about people's businesses and why they do it and what their business dreams are, and just learning how I can support that and support you, whether we work together or not. So I wish you the very best day, and I trust that this has been a helpful, eye-opening conversation for you. Have a great week. If this episode was helpful, I'd love it if you shared it with another woman who might need to hear it as well. You can also subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss future episodes, especially if marketing has started to feel heavier than you want it to. This is where you're going to find relief. And if you want more support, resources, or to learn more about how I work with clients one-on-one, you can visit BeWeirdMarketing.com. Thanks for being here, and I can't wait to chat with you next time.